2017 will be the year of sustainability. Ars Technica reports that a recent paper published in Nature Climate Change suggests that if tax-adjusted food prices are based on the environmental impact of their production, then the environmental costs of agriculture could be substantially lowered. It's a fabulous idea. The paper then goes on to suggest that the money from the tax could be used to lower the cost of foods that are healthier and more environmentally friendly. Another great idea. This study, conducted by a team of researchers from the Oxford Martin Program on Future of Food at the University of Oxford and the International Food Policy Research Institute in Washington, D.C., is the first global analysis to estimate the impacts that levying emission prices on food could have on greenhouse gas emissions and human health. The research team modeled the emissions generated by the production of different foods, the climate damages that those emissions are expected to cause, changes in the consumption that would result from including the cost of climate damage in the price of foods, and changes in the likelihood of dying from diet-related chronic diseases, including type 2 diabetes, coronary heart disease, stroke, and cancers. They then compared different pricing schemes, including one in which all food prices were adjusted to include food-specific emissions taxes, and one in which the tax revenues were used to compensate consumers for higher food prices and to subsidize fruit and vegetable consumption. Dr. Springman, the lead researcher, and his team stated that much of the emissions reduction would stem from higher prices and lower consumption of animal products, as their emissions are particularly high. The researchers also found that beef would have to be 40% more expensive globally to pay for the climate damage caused by its production. The price of milk and other meats would need to increase by up to 20%, and the price of vegetable oils would also increase significantly. The researchers estimate that such price increases would result in around 10% lower consumption of food items that are high in emissions. If you have to pay 40% more for your steak, you might choose to have it once a week instead of twice, said Dr. Springman. Food prices are a sensitive topic, he went on to say. The authors found that a tax on all food commodities would result in 146,000 deaths avoided globally in the year 2020, two-thirds of which would be due to change in dietary risk. Ars Technica's report on the study suggests that as we move forward into a less environmentally secure future, these taxes may be an important option for governments of all kinds to consider.